There are some mighty expensive portafilter baskets and shower screens going around, and a lot of claims about their quality of manufacture and performance. So today we're going to evaluate examples from VST, IMS, E&B Lab, some stock ones that Profitec supplies free with their coffee machines, and a cheap generic one. Will we notice a real difference? I'm literally going to put them under the microscope. We'll look at baskets in the first part of this video, then shower screens. I want to know if we're getting the high quality we're paying for, and there's only one way to find out. Oh my God.
It's like a miracle.
Whenever I get together with the lads for our monthly barista cosplay deathmatch, I'm especially anxious about whether I've chosen the right basket to make my competition recipe really pop. So I've spared no expense in putting together a lineup of the finest baskets and shower screens money can buy to see which ones are best. They range in price from a couple of dollars or pounds or euros or whatever your units happen to be, to around $35 and up. At the high end, with tax and freight, you could spend $100 on 2 measly baskets, which means there had better be something miraculous about those. Let's organize them by retail price, beginning low and going high. We'll start with this specimen here, a giveaway that came with this cheap portafilter, in which I keep a blank disc permanently mounted for convenience. It looks like any other generic part, obviously not polished. I see one spot where the perforation missed. Let's have a look at these holes. You see crude tool marks and general roughness. The inside edges of the holes are irregular and spiky with a lot of sharp burrs. These will catch coffee particles and are likely to clog during a pull. So even with a competent grinder, you may find areas where no coffee is passing through. I wouldn't recommend using it. It's the sort of part that might come with an entry-level coffee machine. I would definitely replace it with a better quality one. Next on the price scale, we have the baskets that Profitec supplies for free with their machines. They aren't branded, but they are well made. These are relatively heavy, and the bottoms are machined, although not polished. The microscope shows us cylindrical holes that are all clean and regular and evenly spaced. This means that if you have a competent grinder, you can expect good results. The holes are unlikely to clog, and only microfines below a certain chosen size will pass through. The tool marks don't concern me. They're regular and even. I would call these good quality and very well priced as spare parts. So we've got a candidate for best value for money already. I would happily pay 8 or 9 euros for baskets like these. Well done, Profitec. Next on the price scale are 2 brands made by IMS. This Italian company has been making portafilter baskets for the better part of a century, and they really have got it nailed. They make several brands, such as IMS, E&B Lab, and Barista Pro, and a vast variety of types and shapes, too numerous for me to cover. I've put a link to their catalog in the description. These cost in the range of 12 to 15 euros at retail, so a bit more expensive than the previous ones, but by no means exorbitant. First, the IMS competition line, which in this case are ridged and tapered with rounded corners. These have conical holes with polished surfaces. The bottoms are relatively smooth, wavy, not spiky. The holes are regular in size and distribution with clean circular openings. The company says that conical holes like these are less likely to clog than cylindrical ones, however well they might be cut. The E&B Lab ones also have conical holes and are also nicely finished and precisely made. The care of manufacture is equal to the IMS branded ones. The E&B Labs, which in this case are ridgeless and square-cornered, have a non-stick quartz coating that makes them the tidiest I've ever used. Just a single smack, and look at how clean that is. The coating works as advertised. Portafilter baskets come in various shapes with varying areas of perforation, so in my next video I'll explain all of that and talk about the reasons why you might prefer one combination of attributes to another. And I'll talk about the important and neglected issue of matching basket size to coffee dose by volume rather than weight, which will enable you to tamp better with less fuss by considering the effects of shower screen intrusion. All of those whisks and fidget spinners are truly unnecessary once you understand what I'm going to show you. But today, I'm concerned with quality of manufacture and value for money, so let's press on. Now, before we look at the shower screens, we come to the top shelf in the 35 to 40 euro range, the coveted VST line. At a distance, they look like most other quality baskets, but apparently they're very special. According to this package insert, they're microscopically validated using the VST filter imaging system, which I don't know might be the next step in X-ray photoelectron spectroscopy or something. But you know, it seems odd that the image here doesn't show the actual surface. More of a silhouette, really. Anyway, let's see if this garden variety old microscope of mine can show us anything more than the VST filter imaging system. Here we've got the familiar silhouettes, and the cylindrical holes do appear regular in shape and spacing, with very clean edges. But wait a minute, a bit of light on the subject and voila, the surface comes into view. And it's got prominent tool marks. And they're really familiar tool marks, aren't they? If I didn't know better, I'd suspect that these are the Profitec ones that cost 8 euros a piece, only with a hefty layer of price gouging, elevating the cost by nearly 400%. And as for this package insert, I'd say that the VST filter imaging system is designed to hide more than it reveals. These are quality baskets, all right, but at VST's prices, they're a ripoff. I'll happily pay Profitec prices for them, however, so I'd urge you to buy them as unbranded spare parts. Now for shower screens. The stock Profitec one is a two-piece screen attached to the side piece, essentially a tube section, so 3 parts in all. It uses wire mesh over a perforated sheet with a relatively small blank area in the center. It's more polished than many others that you see. The E&B Lab one is also a 2-piece screen, or a 3-piece part, but instead of wire mesh, we have a sheet with small perforations over a sheet with larger ones and no blank area. 2-piece screens are more durable, but they can be more difficult to clean as they tend to trap tiny particles, oily residues, and the like. The IMS competition is a 1-piece screen, or 2 pieces total, so a bit more delicate, but easier to clean. This is perforated with a photo etching process, and here we have a relatively large blank center area. Again, in the next video I'll explain all of the effects of the many shapes and materials and other subtle attributes of baskets and screen. The stock screen works well and feels quite durable. It looks fine under the microscope. Certainly no embarrassing secrets here. The outer mesh layer might not be quite as polished as the rest of the piece, but I've used it and it works fine. It retails for around 7 euros, so good value for money. The E&B screen is also sturdy and has that non-stick quartz coating that helps it to stay clean. The outer piece is a perforated sheet rather than mesh. All of the holes are evenly spaced, precisely cut with no burrs. It's a very high quality piece that retails for around 15 euros. Considering the somewhat better workmanship, I'd call it good value as well. The IMS competition costs about the same. It looks great under the microscope. A single etched piece, very precisely done. This is the screen that I use most often, and I'm quite satisfied, especially in combination with the ridged IMS competition baskets, as the two seem to be matched. I think the company put some thought into how they might work together. I also like this screen with the stock 15-gram Profitec basket that's made by VST, which is even more rounded at the bottom. More on this topic soon. Well, that's all I've got for today. Next time, I'll finish this discussion of baskets and screens with some important insights to help you choose the combination that will suit you best. And then a week or two after that, I'll post my full review of the Eureka Mignon Libra, which I'm starting to think could be the best prosumer espresso grinder Eureka is offering right now. I'm that impressed with it, and I'm eager to show you why. So keep in touch. Cheers!